Okay, teams, for 10 points. What was the name given to the French settlement in Nova Scotia? Ridley, Lawrence.
Lewisburg.
Pardon me?
Lewisburg.
No, it was not. Lorne Park. Andrew.
Acadia?
Acadia is the answer we were looking for. What are the three primary colors? John.
Red, yellow, and blue.
Red, yellow, and blue is what we were looking for. For 10 points, who was the Sun King? Sasha.
Louis XIV.
Louis XIV. And a Muscovite comes from where? Derek.
Soviet Union, Moscow.
Moscow is what we were looking for. That's right. Continuing on with some 10-point short snappers. For 10 points, how many points are there on the maple leaf of the Canadian national flag? John.
9.
Not 9. Ridley.
11.
11. Is that a guess?
No.
Right on. For 10 points, when gambling with 2 dice, what number does the phrase boxcar? Graham.
12.
12. Double sixes. What was the name of the fairy in Peter Pan? Andrew.
Tinkerbell.
That was Tinkerbell, yes. For 10 points, identify the humpbacked bell ringer in Notre Dame. Andrew.
Quasimodo.
It was Quasimodo. Sugar is the main ingredient of Coca-Cola. What is Coke's second? Oh, pardon me. Sugar is the second main ingredient in Coca-Cola. What is Coke's main ingredient? Graham.
Water.
It is just plain water. And finally, for 10 points, what tragedy struck Ottawa's Parliament buildings in 1916? Andrew.
Fire.
It was fire. Let's get an early look at the scores now, see where everything stands. Lorne Park is leading by 20 points. It is Lorne Park 60 and Ridley 40.
Welcome to CHCH-TV in Hamilton and a new series of Reach for the Top, the popular and long-lasting high school quiz that showcases some of the brightest students in our schools. Each team has earned the right to appear on television after competing with other schools in their School Reach League. And now, to introduce the teams and run the games, here is Quizmaster Alan Cross.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to week number 3 of Reach for the Top. We have another couple of teams representing some fine Southern Ontario schools. But before we get into the game, I want to introduce you to someone who is helping me out here on the game every week. From the Wentworth Board of Education, our judge, Mary Pettit.
Thank you, Alan. I'm looking forward to this game between Ridley College and Lorne Park. All of our players have seen these rules, and for those of you at home, I think you'll find it quite straightforward. Just a reminder, players, you may interrupt the quizmaster at any time during the reading of a question. If the player's answer is incorrect, that question is turned over to the opposition. Good luck to both teams, and over to you, Alan.
All right, Mary, thanks very much. Let's begin by meeting the teams one by one. First of all, let's talk to the people, or actually meet the people from Ridley. First of all, we have Lawrence Nwasi. I pronounced that right, Lawrence?
Yes.
Lawrence is in grade 13. He's into reading books, and he says his favorite music is Tchaikovsky. Next to Lawrence is Graham Sandrit. He is a grade 12 student. He plans to go to Harvard to study business. He's really interested in computers, and he's involved in the school newspaper. On his left is Daniel Shuey. Daniel is in grade 13. He plans to go to Waterloo to study engineering, and his sport is soccer. And finally, Andrew Madar. He's in grade 11. He's into debating. He's into music, and he says his favorite TV show is Jeopardy. And also, I would like to introduce you to the teacher coach of this team, Paul Lewis. Let's move down to the bottom row and meet the students from Lorne Park. First of all, we have a grade 10 student who's interested in studying business. His name is Sasha Thacker. Next to Sasha is Sean Lowry. He's in grade 13. He plans to become an architect, and he likes television and rowing very much. Next to him is Derek Rund. He plans to go to the U of T. He's currently in grade 11. Derek would like to get into marketing and perhaps have a career as an ad executive. He's in the art club, also involved in drama and the yearbook at Lorne Park. And finally, grade 10 student Andrew Miller. He's in grade 10. He plans to study political science. But before he gets there, he plans to watch an awful lot of baseball. You've met the teams. Oh, I'm sorry, and I forgot to introduce the teachers. We have a couple of teachers here from Lorne Park. We have Coach Rick Schultz and Julie Flannery. Sorry about that. I wanted to leave out the teachers. All right, teams, let's continue by testing your knowledge of television. Following questions deal with the television series Happy Days. For 10 points, which city was the setting? Derek.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. For 10 points, what kind of store did Howard Cunningham? Derek.
Hardware.
Hardware store. Which high school did Richie attend? John.
Rydell.
Wasn't Rydell. Anybody really want to try it? A little bit of TV trivia. It was Jefferson High School. And for 10 points, name the gang with which Arthur Fonzarelli, or Fonzie, was once a member. Anybody remember the gang he used to hang out with? It was the Falcons. All right, here's your first team question. The team who answers this first question correctly will have a chance at earning another 30 points. For 5 points, what is the odorous substance used in perfume as a scent and fixative? Andrew.
Is it musk?
It is musk. All right, good job, Andrew. These remaining questions all start with the word musk. They're 10 points for each right answer, and they go to Lorne Park. What was a portable firearm formerly used by the infantry? Andrew?
A musket.
A musket. Okay. What is the annual herbaceous vine and its edible fruits?
Melon?
Andrew?
Is it muskmelon?
Muskmelon is right. And finally, this is a region of central Ontario.
Muskoka. Muskoka.
Altogether, Muskoka. This is an open series of questions. Either team can answer. We want you to identify the following parts of a car. For 10 points, what provides bursts of current at the exact moment required for ignition? Graham?
Spark plugs?
It's not the spark plug that we're looking for in this case. Lorne Park? Sean?
Distributor?
Distributor. The question reads, what provides bursts of current at the exact moment required for ignition at each cylinder? What provides? And we're looking for the distributor. For 10 points, which belt-driven part operating through a voltage regulator continuously charges the battery? Daniel.
Alternator.
The alternator. And which device vaporizes the fuel after it is drawn from the tank? Daniel.
Carburetor.
Carburetor. Okay. Let's move from your carburetor to geology. For 10 points, the branch of geology concerned with the origin, structure, composition, and properties of rock is called what? Daniel.
Geology.
It's not geology. Lorne Park. Andrew.
Seismology.
Good try. We're looking for petrology. Rocks are commonly divided into what three classes, depending... Andrew?
Sedimentary, metamorphic, and igneous.
That's the three we're looking for. For 10 points, what term is used for the conversion by heat, pressure, and/or hot chemically active fluids of sedimentary and igneous rocks into metamorphic rocks? Daniel.
Diastrophism.
It's not what we're looking for this time. Sean, or pardon me, Lorne Park. Andrew.
Metamorphism.
That's what we're looking for, metamorphism. And finally, with our last question on geology, what type of rock is limestone? Daniel.
Sedimentary.
Sedimentary. All right, it's math time. You might want to use your pencils on these. For 10 points, if y equals x squared plus 4x plus 2, determine the product of the roots of the function. Y equals x squared plus 4x plus 2. We want you to determine the product of the roots of the function. Oh, tough to do sometimes. Lawrence.
X plus root 4x plus root 2.
We were just simply looking for 2 in this case. For 10 points, what is the sum of the first 6 prime numbers? Lawrence.
21.
Pardon me?
21.
It's not 21. Derek?
27.
No, the answer is 41. For another 10 points, what is the sum of the internal angles in a dodecagon? Dodecagon, which is a polygon with 12 sides. We want the sum of the internal angles.
720 degrees.
Not quite. Lorne Park? Sean?
960.
It's 1,800 degrees. And finally, this is a complicated one. I invite you to listen very closely. Consider a unit circle. The x-coordinate of each point is multiplied by 25, and the y-coordinate of each point is multiplied by 4. to determine a new set of points. The resultant image figure is an ellipse. What is the area of that ellipse? It's a tough one.
Time.
The answer we're looking for is 314 or 100 pi. All right, that wraps up this section of the game. Let's check our scores. We have Ridley with 80 points, and Lorne Park is in the lead with 135. We'll be back in a moment to talk to our team captain to find out a bit about each of our schools, and we'll ask more questions. Don't go away. Before we get back to our game, let's find out a little bit about the two schools that we have here for you this afternoon. And to do that, we'll go to the team captains of each team. First of all, for Ridley, we have Graham Scandrew. What can you tell us about your school?
Ridley College, located in St. Catharines, is Canada's largest coeducational boarding school. The school was founded in 1889, was destroyed by fire in 1903, and was rebuilt on the location where it stands today. One of the greatest successes in the school's history has been its celebrated rowing program, which began in 1965. Since then, Ridley has been among the top handful of schools in the nation. Some graduates of the school include Hume Cronin, a famous New York and Hollywood actor who most recently starred in Batteries Not Included; Peter Zosky, a Canadian broadcaster and author of several books; Harriet Foster, the founder of Canadian Special Olympics. Many other graduates of the school are professional and business success stories on a slightly less notorious scale.
All right, Graham, thank you very much. Good luck and the rest of the team. Good luck, and we'll see you in just a second. Let's go down to Lorne Park, and we'll talk to team captain Sean Laurie. What can you tell us about Lorne Park?
The Lorne Park tradition is to excel. Championship football, swimming, and tennis teams, amongst many others, represent our dedication to athletics. High levels of achievement in language contests, math contests, and reach for the top attest to a savvy student body. Blood donor clinics and recycling efforts demonstrate our contributions to the community. And school activities like Algonquin Bound, the Christmas Assembly, and the Lip Sync illustrate our school spirit. All of these contribute to a well-rounded student life.
Thank you, Sean. Good luck to you and your team. All right, teams, let's try some assigned questions. We'll go at it 2 at a time. The first person to buzz in with the right answer will earn 10 points for the team, and then we'll just go on 2 by 2. All right? The following questions deal with the suffix itis. It generally means inflammation of. What I'm going to do is give you the itis, and you tell me what is inflamed. Okay? Let's start with Lawrence and Sasha. Cardiitis.
Inflammation
Lawrence.
of the heart.
It's the heart. How about encephalitis?
Time.
When you don't want encephalitis, that's an inflammation of the brain. Let's move to Graham and Sean. See how you do with these. Gastritis. Sean.
Stomach.
Stomach. And hepatitis. Sean.
The blood.
Not the blood. Graham. Hepatitis means your liver is inflamed. Moving on to Daniel and Derek. Nephritis. Derek?
Kidney.
Kidney is correct. And how about neuritis? Derek again.
The nervous system.
Well, they're nerves. You have inflamed nerves. How about this? This is for Andrew and Andrew. Tympanitis. Andrew.
Is it the ear?
More specific.
Inner ear. Bones. Bones in the ear.
Judge?
Yes, I'll accept
We'll
that.
take that. Actually, we're looking for eardrum. And finally, pneumonitis. Andrew.
The sinuses.
Not the sinuses. Upstairs, Andrew.
Inflammation of the lungs?
It is inflammation of the lungs. That's correct. All right, teams, we're going to spring some popular music on you. 10 points for each right answer here. Listen to this very carefully, and I'll give you a clue in just a moment. This is a group that doesn't normally carry a female singer. Singer of this Pogue song, who has since left the band, is also married to English pop star Declan McManus, of course, who is also known as Elvis Costello. Who is the woman singing this Pogue song? Sean.
Debbie Harry.
Not Debbie Harry. It's a tough question. Kate O'Riordan is the woman's name. A portrait of what author was used by the Pogues on the cover of their album, If I Should Fall from Grace with God? Which author is on the front? Graham.
Da Vinci.
Not Da Vinci. Derek?
Van Gogh.
Not. We were looking for an author, and the author we were looking for was James Joyce. All right, let's try some film music. 10 points for each right answer here. Listen to this. Lawrence.
Star Wars?
Star Wars is what we were looking for. Still with Star Wars, name the composer of the score. Sean.
John Williams.
John Williams. Here's another very well-known movie theme. Listen to this. Sean.
Pink Panther.
It is the Pink Panther, but we want the composer. Ridley. Graham.
Henry Mancini?
It is Henry Mancini. And still with the Pink Panther, what was the Pink Panther in the original film? Sean?
A gem.
It was a gem, a jewel, a diamond. That's right, the 10 points. Okay, teams, have a look at your monitors for these. Listen for questions. Listen for these questions on the following works of arts. These are worth 10 points each. Here's our first slide. It's an assembly of guardsmen and was painted by what Dutch master? Derek.
Rembrandt.
Rembrandt is correct. Now here is a piece called Mounted Officer of the Guard. We want to know who the army leader is in this painting. It's a French leader. Graham.
Napoleon.
Pardon me?
Napoleon?
Napoleon's the guy. We're going to move on to General Bonaparte. That's the name of this next slide, this next painting. We want to know who painted this portrait. Buzz in again, please. Sean?
David.
It was David, correct. And finally, look at this one here. Artist Frans Hal's famous painting is titled in English, The Something Cavalier.
The
Derek.
Laughing Cavalier.
He is laughing. That sums up our special section here. Let's check our scores once again. We have we have Ridley with 130 points, and Lorne Park in the lead with 225. Now we're to the top of the moment. Welcome back to Reach for the Top. Before we get back to the game, we want to make sure everything is okay with the scores, so we're going to check in with our judge, Mary Pettit.
Ridley College has 130 points, and Lorne Park has 225 points.
Okay, here is a team question. You might be able to pick up some big points with this one. The first right answer is good for 5 points, and then I'll give you a chance to pick up another 30. For 5 points, which 1818 Mary Shelley novel introduced what was to become one of the world's... Sean?
Frankenstein?
Frankenstein. Frankenstein's monster. That's good for 5 points. The remaining questions deal with Frankenstein and his monster. They're worth 10 points each, and they're for Lorne Park. In the novel, what nationality is Victor Frankenstein? Andrew?
He's German?
He's not German. He's actually Swiss. The first Frankenstein film was produced by which inventor in 1910?
Edison.
Thomas Edison. And finally, in 1931, the 1931 Hollywood version of Frankenstein starred which actor as the monster?
Boris Karloff. It's Boris Karloff.
Andrew?
Boris Karloff.
You got that one right, Boris Karloff. All right, with Frankenstein out of the way, perhaps it's appropriate that we move on to anatomy. For 10 points, the word skeleton comes from the Greek language. What does it mean in English? Sean?
Bony structure.
Not bony structure. Ridley, you want to try that? Skeleton actually comes from the Greek word meaning dried body. What is the main purpose of the skull? Sean?
To protect the brain.
Protect the brain. For 10 points, what is the expression used to describe a secret source of shame? Andrew?
Skeleton in the closet.
Skeleton in the closet. A turtle's shell is its skeleton. What's the term for this kind of skeleton? Derek?
An exoskeleton.
Exoskeleton. Good job. Okay, teams, these are open questions. I want you to name the capitals each of the countries described. All of these capitals, this is important to remember, all of these capitals have 11 letters in their name. For 10 points, with a population of over 3 million people, this island nation is located north of Australia. I want you to name the capital of Papua New Guinea. Derek.
New Wellington?
Not New Wellington. Graham.
Borbor.
It is Port Moresby. I'm going to do one more here. This African country became an independent nation on August the 15th, 1960, and has an area of approximately 342,000 square kilometers. Name the capital of the People's Republic of Congo.
Time.
11 letters. Brazzaville is the name of the city that we were looking for. All right, teams, snapper time. Each answer is good for 10 points. In Groucho Marx, You Bet Your Life, who brought the secret word in? Andrew.
The goose. The bird.
Judge?
No, I can't accept that.
Ridley. How foul. It was a duck. For 10 points, during the 1925 Scopes monkey trial, who was the prosecuting attorney?
Time.
William Jennings Bryan. What's the capital of Cameroon? Sasha.
Sorry.
Yaoundé is what we were looking for. For 10 points, name the reporter whose exploits at the Detroit Lions training camp were the basis for the Sean.
George Plimpton.
George Plimpton's the guy we were looking for. Which record company is credited with introducing the 45 RPM record? Sean.
Motown.
It's not Motown. Lawrence.
Capital.
It was RCA. That was 1948. Columbia introduced the 33, the LP. For 10 points, which U.S. state is called the Pine Tree State? Derek.
Oregon?
Not Oregon. Lawrence?
Virginia.
Lots of pine trees in Maine. For 10 points, according to the Ray Bradbury novel, at what temperature does book paper catch? Sean.
451 Fahrenheit.
That's right. For 10 points, how many laps make up the Indianapolis 500? Sasha.
250.
No, I'm afraid not.
500?
It's not 500. It's 200 laps around the oval. There's the siren. That's the game. Preliminary indications are that Ridley has 130 points and Lorne Park has 300. We'll check the scores and be back with the official winners right after this.
It's official. The winner today is the team from Lorne Park. Congratulations.
And thanks to Ridley College for coming out. Thank you. We enjoyed having you here. Lawrence Noesi, Graham Scandrett, Daniel Shuey, and Andrew Madar. Hope to see you next year. And on the bottom row, our victorious team this week from Lorne Park, Sasha Thacker, Sean Lowry, Derek Ron, and Andrew Miller. And of course, we must thank our teacher coaches. Did a good job with both teams, Paul Evans and Rick Schultz and Julie Flannery. We'll have to see you next week as, who do we have next week? Grimsby and St. Mike's will be here next week as we continue with this first flight of Reach for the Top. Before we go, remember this, education is a progressive...